Good morning, Stanton. We are here to learn a little bit about some of the things that you may hear or see or read while playing Star Citizen. We're going to give a little bit of a talk about the terms. So I'm going to give a little bit of a demonstration, a little bit of a presentation for you and for anyone here. Can someone get the lights for me? No? Lights? Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. So, allow me to present a little bit of a slideshow here, and hopefully this will help you out in the verse. So this is a symbol that you will see in global chat used by people either when they first arrive or when they're leaving or in response to someone else using the same thing. You'll see a lowercase O7, capital O7, or a 07, all basically meaning the same thing. Just like any other remote representative of a smiley face or something else, this is representing the image of someone saluting. So if you see people saying this, they are basically saluting you, basically saying hello. That's what this means. So this is a fairly common one that you'll see, and one that if you type this into global chat, you'll usually get a response of someone else, one of the other citizens, just kind of as a show of community. So this is Port Alsar. Now Port Alsar is also referred to as PO. It's a orbital station orbiting around Crusader at the moment. I do hear quite a few rumors that have been, I'm pretty sure, confirmed that this is going away. If you want to know a little bit more about Port Alsar, I do have a video visiting it, just kind of looking around. The big difference between this and any other station at the moment is the exterior landing pads for landing outside. Also, there's more than one station kind of built into the same area. So if you're standing in one pad and you're going inside, say if you're on pad D, pad A is identical but not attached. You can't traverse between both pads. So this station here is one of the first iterations and one of the first stations that a lot of people had visited, and it's quite interesting. But if you see someone referring to that they're at PO, they are at Port Alsar. If you hear someone mention Levski and you're wondering where that is and how you can visit it, currently you cannot. I think it was the same time that Xenothreat, the first iteration in 3.12 or 3.13, I can't remember when it was now, came out. Levski was removed, and the reason why Levski was removed was just to basically free up the resources that was eating up in order to run the event smoother. And Levski was more of a test of a location in the Stanton system. It's actually not designed to be in the Stanton system, so it will be moving eventually and return in another system. But it was a pretty cool location. It was a landing zone near Delamar that was actually built in an asteroid field on a very large, almost planet-sized asteroid. And you would fly over the surface, and there's a crater that you could kind of fly over, and the whole area was built down into the ground. So this area, when people mention Levski, is not visible anymore, but hopefully in the future, perhaps by the time you're watching this video, maybe you can visit Levski. So until it returns, this is a place that some people will not be able to see, but that's what they're referring to. Grimhex, G-Hex, Hex, a lot of people call it many different names. This is around Yela. It's an orbital station in the ring that's around Yela. This is one of the few places you can go to if you have a crime stat, because this is kind of more of like an outlaw post built into the asteroid there. It was housing exchange for some company. I can't remember what, but a green something. And so they take the GR from green, and was it Imperial for IM and Hex for housing exchange. And so this was taken over. It was like an old station that was taken over by basically criminals, is kind of the story, I believe. So Grimhex is a place that if you have a crime stat and you're still trying to land somewhere to refuel, this place you go. If you're doing some mining around Yella, maybe staying away from Grimhex is always one of the better ideas. Now, eventually, some things are supposed to go away, as far as I know, like crime and fines. And maybe this is a place where you'd be able to kind of hang out and wait for things to go down, kind of to lay low. I'm not sure if that's still going to be the case, or maybe I've kind of misinterpreted, but when someone mentions Grimhex or Ghex, this is what they're talking about. Lorville. If you have been watching any of my videos, you know Lorville. This is where my starting from nothing series started out. This is where I've been mainly basing most of my videos out of. Lorville is one of the places you could choose to start with when you start the game. You have starting locations to choose from. Lorville is one of the ones that is dirtier and a place that's more industrial. So when you're looking around Lorville, you see trash and piles of dirt and sand around. But what makes it nice is this planet is relatively hospitable, so you don't need to worry about your spacesuit as much on Lorville. The tram ride isn't too bad to get to the spaceport. It's got some nice sunsets. So Lorville is one of the three main current starting locations, and it is a city owned by Hurston, who is making all the weapons in the game. Area 18. Now, Area 18 is on ArcCorp, and it's one of the landing zones that you can start your game at. So when you're choosing to start your game, you can choose Lorville, Area 18, or New Babbage to start. Now, Area 18 is a kind of a cool place to start in, and actually, if you're in Area 18, I find it's one of the better places to get from your hab to your ship. It's a relatively small run to get there, and if you're trying to sell items, this is a great place to sell items. So if you have cargo in your ship and you land your ship and you store it and you are logging out, getting from the habs to the area where you're selling is super fast. There's no tram rides needed. It's really cool. The trams here are actually above ground flying vehicles, and it's a really great place to start out. However, it's not a great place for new players to visit in the dark, because finding the landing zone at Area 18 I found quite hard in the dark. So I'll do a video about visiting and hopefully kind of show you how to find a place to land there. But this is Area 18. Think of it like if you're thinking Star Wars, this is like Coruscant. It's like the large planet-sized city, and it is beautiful, kind of neon. Also, somewhere in Lorville there is a chairman's club, or is it the Mile High Club? I think it's a Mile High Club, which is like a exclusive club for only certain backers in the game. New Babbage, also referred to as NB, is another one of the three starting locations that you can visit when you're first making your account to start the game. New Babbage is a very cold planet owned by Microtech, and the Microtech world is almost entirely covered by ice. This is one of the places that I actually find very easy to land at, because finding in the day or night the landing zone, this and Lorville are about equal. So the city of New Babbage actually has a airport across a frozen lake, and it's strikingly visible standing out against the ice below. So quite easy to see and easy to find. Fairly cold environment, so you want to wear good cold weather gear when you're out on the surface of this planet. But an interesting planet to visit. Very clean, very futuristic looking. as opposed to the dirt of Lorville or the crowdedness of the cityscape of A18 or Area 18, New Babbage is a little more open, cleaner, futuristic, very much like when you're thinking like the Star Trek universe and how they've designed that to be very kind of open and green. 20k and 30k. You will see this a lot in chat, usually responding to whether there's an error with the server or people just asking 30k question mark. 30k and 20k refers to error codes that crash the game. 30ks are more common, and what happens is it'll be 30,400, 30,800. Anything in the 30,000 error code is referred to as like a 30k. Any in the 20,000 range is referred to as a 20k. And these are error codes that tend to crash the game. So if you're playing the game and all of a sudden the game exits, this is usually the cause of it. So that is it for this part. I will continue again with a little more information after a break. So lights please. Thank you. Yes, so that is it. Take a little bit of break, go have some tea, and I'll be back with another part.